to put a great product on the field for our organization, our fans, and that last locker room scene is a tough one, where you didn't end up where you wanted to go. A really special team to be a part of, that they had such belief in each other, had great relationships. So that was a tough scene, but I just want to start off by thanking them. Our football.
You're damn right didn't where you get where you want to go. You're damn right y'all didn't get where you want to go, Kwesi. And once again, I stand on it 10 toes down. Even though you overachieved, right? Guess what? The expectations rose, became higher when you won 14 games. Compete, at least compete. That's the big thing, Kwesi. Your personnel, the roster you put together, you deserve as much blame as KOC. Subtract the on the field coaching stuff, etc. But you deserve as much blame as KOC, because this is your roster, your building blocks. You make the ultimate decisions. You ignored the O-line. You ignored the trenches once again, like we've been knowing what's up for years. Even before you got here, I'm sure you've seen some of the Vikings personnel, Kwesi, and your big biscuit head ass chose not to address the trenches, not 1 year, not 2 year, but 3 years in a damn row, dog. Period. Point blank. Period. I guess you thought you had enough skilled players to just beat team that way. No, dog. Playoff runs, playoff pushes, Super Bowl caliber teams are built in the trenches, dog. Built in the trenches. Games are won in the trenches, huh? Super Bowls are won in the trenches, dog. Defense and offense. First line of protection, first line of defense, etc., etc. This is not rocket science, huh, Kwesi? This is fucking football. Something you're supposed to be an elite expert at, as far as your analysis, seeing, understanding, observing, identifying elite football players. Maybe you're too focused on the analysis. Hold up, let me stop the cap. You did just bring in Jonathan Grenard. You did just bring in Blake Cashman. I give you that. Very talented players, heavy. Van Ginkel, etc., etc. Can't take that away from you. But your drafts have been piss poor. Besides one, two, three players or 4 players, your drafts haven't been great. Your first draft was trash. Your first round draft pick was a bust, was a super fucking bust. Gave you nothing. Gave you no upside, period. You got nothing out of him. No disrespect. Wish him the best, but injured, horrific injury, out 1 season, 2 seasons, did nothing preseason, wasted draft pick. You could have had a player like J-Mo from Detroit, could have got J-Mo, could have got the defensive tackle from the Eagles. You could have went so many different ways, but you chose who? Lewis Seen. What did you judge him on? What did you pick him by? Heavy, bro. Who are the rest of your picks? Nobody's. No disrespect. We're talking facts. Enough for the Minnesota Vikings nice. If you want Minnesota Vikings nice from me, Big SKOL, get the fuck out of here. I don't want you here because you're fake as a bitch. Huh? I do not want you here because you're fake as a bitch. If you want Minnesota Vikings nice, take your ass somewhere else to one of them pussies over there. Heavy. To one of them people who get together and nut ride each other. Go to them over there, huh? Heavy, huh? Big SKOL here. You hear me? Period. Not finna lie just for the camera, just to try to get a shot or something. You hear me? Nut ride, tell lies. That's what they're fucking doing. That's what they're really fucking doing. Telling lies about the team, etc. Lying for a click, for a view. Are you kidding me? A world bunch of pussies. That's the world we live in, dog. A world of a bunch of pussies, huh? Heavy. Men act like women, and women want to act like men. Heavy, dog. You hear me? No cap, bruh. Period. Kidding me, bruh? Men act like women, and women want to act like men. Heavy, you hear me? Oh, PNP cap, ass wipe horse shit. Care about him holding his hand? Want to hear about that? Oh, what, an excuse? You're trying to find an excuse, PNP? I want to give a damn about him holding his hand, what you saw or thought you saw. PNP. Gonna make me get on your head top tonight. PNP, you hear me, dog? Period, big dog. You're talking cap. Reaching for an excuse for Sam Darnold. Piss poor performance. Shut up. Heavy. Period. Shut up. Shut your ass up. You hear me? Or get up out of here, Heavy. You hear me? Much respect, but shut your ass up. You sound like a punk ass fan right now. Nut riding fan. Talking about Sam Darnold's hand, huh? Stop the cap, bruh. Let's get back to it.
Operations staff and personnel staff who, the unsung heroes of this thing, and help us run as a great efficient machine. And they spent a lot of time at this, and just want to make sure that I start by saying that. And our great fans showed up to support us in every stadium, different countries. They were a big part of why this season was so special. I made a lot of great memories. And then our great owners who continue to push us and give us the resources to excel and be run as a world-class organization. And we're always indebted to that. Though this season didn't end where we wanted it to, I did want to take a second to appreciate what we were able to accomplish. 14 wins, a playoff berth, and one of the best divisions in recent memory. I think we've laid the foundation for a really competitive, sustained team. A lot of smart, tough guys who love football. I think you can build and do a lot of great things with a group like that.
Don't say tough. Don't say tough. Don't say tough. Be specific. Fuck. Be specific, KOC. Stop lying to the people, bro. Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? Lying to the people? Oh, I get it now. This is Minnesota Vikings. Nice. Heavy. This is Minnesota Vikings. Nice right here. I get it now. I see why. I see why. All those years, as a young kid, a young child, bro, young warrior, watching the Vikings play. Always asking yourself, damn, dog, why can't this team get over the hump? Especially when you get to a point where you're really paying attention, when it starts to matter, like heavy, you hear me? You hear me, period, dog. Like when you get, you get older and start really watching the game, understanding the game, especially if you play, period, bro. You just wonder, why can't the Vikings get over the hump? Like, what's up with the Vikings? Heavy, you hear me, dog? Talented at times, great rosters, coaches, etc. Why do they always fold? Coaches and players, you ask yourself, why? Oh, man, why, bro? Wow, bro. Because it's been Minnesota Vikings nice forever. That's been the standard. I fucking get it. It's the Minnesota Vikings nice standard. Woo, ha. Come on, bro. It's the fucking weak ass Minnesota Vikings nut riding fan standard. And these coaches want to make sure they cater to the standard. And it's the Wills pump bitch ass too all along as well. You hear me? The Wills play a part as well. These coaches are feeding into the Wills. You hear me? Feeding into the fans. Bullshit. The love for them, dog. They're playing on the fans. Playing on the fans. I get it. Oh, you hear me? Heavy, bro. Ooh. Oh, man, bro. Big changes need to be made. Kwesi, I'm going to tell you this, bro. Kwesi, I'm going to tell you this, bro. You're going to have to make some tough decisions and drop your nuts. Because I see clearly it's year 3 and you still ain't dropped your nuts on the fucking wolf yet, dog. You acting like a scary boy. You acting like a scary boy, man. You hear me? Period. See, back in the old days, at least you can say the Vikings were different. They competed. You hear me, dog, with the Bud Grants, etc. They at least dropped their nuts at times, got close, competed in big games, not get their ass kicked, get their ass slaughtered. At least the boys, Vikings of the old school, purple people eaters, etc. They competed and got down and banged up. They banged in big game moments. You hear me, bro? They didn't win them all, but they was there. They were exciting and they fought. Blame the fucking kickers. Even Mike Zimmer's team, besides the 2017 NFC Championship. You hear me, dog? Period, bro. And maybe versus the Panthers. They banged though heavy. You hear me, dog? They didn't just get their ass kicked, get thrown around heavy. and they were woo, and they were tough in them trenches, tough and big in them trenches. They understood what it meant to bang and win in the trenches. That's why they got the NFC championships, et cetera, period. And some Super Bowls and lost, et cetera, et cetera. They understood what it took to win. They were more gritty back then, more tough back then. Don't say tough on your fucking roster. Be specific, KOC. You must be specific, my boy. You hear me? Garrett Bradbury is not tough. Ooh, I don't want to disrespect O'Neal, but I don't know if he's tough anymore. Blake Brandell, fake tough. Reisner, fake ass tough. The Detroit Lions pushed his punk ass wife down the fucking stadiums damn near. Talked about him, disrespected her, called her out her name, and his bitch ass couldn't even show up to try to play them again, dog, to get his revenge. Well, guess what? I'm starting a revenge tour. I'm starting a revenge tour here out this bitch. Big SKOL Vikes, win, lose, or draw. Put me on the staff, on the scene. I'll change the scenery. You hear me, dog? Heavy. Period, bro. Darisaw is injured. Tough players, tough guys on the roster. Van Ginkel, Loco and tough. Cashman. Jonathan Grenard. Heavy, bro. Who else? Byron Murphy. I'll give Harrison Phillips the credit right now. Harrison Phillips, he barely gets in that equation. Josh Metellus, dog, can't buy him, you hear me? But depending on how much he want, he can get the fuck out of there too. He want to try to get over, guess what? He can get the fuck up out of there too. Heavy. Period, dog. I don't like his man coverage skills. He not fast enough for me anyway. We got Theo Jackson back there. Let it rip. Huh? No more Minnesota Vikings nights, dog. You hear me? Period. Enough of that bullshit. Players, coaches want to go, let them fucking go. Period. Let's get into it. Bullshit. Tired of this, bro. I see why. They talk about standard. What standard? Losing? Average? Mediocre? No standard, boy.
Although it didn't, obviously it didn't go where you wanted to go. And so
No.
you want to make sure at the same time you're appreciating what happened with really trying to study, the feeling we have right now, why we're not continuing on in the tournament. It's that the go between the large sample of the success, but the small sample where it didn't go your way, and you want to make sure that.
Is this scripted here? Is this scripted? Is he censored? He said, why this, why that? The same dumbass question KOC asked, huh? Why this happened? Why that happened? Motherfucker, look around. You got dominated in the trenches. Your quarterback folded. Your coach folded. Heavy. your defensive coordinator folded as well. Huh? Everybody, all y'all niggas. You hear me? No cap. Yay. Believe that.
That you don't throw out the small sample, but you don't want to overweight it. You don't want to underweight it. It's it's the exercise we'll undertake as a team. And that always starts with ultimate accountability, and that'll start with KO and I. We'll claw and we'll figure out ways to get the rest of the way where we want to go. We know we haven't gotten there yet, but we're really excited at the path we're on. With that, take questions.
Kwesi, when we talked to you before the season, you talked about different expectations and potential outcomes. I guess, how do you view this as one of the best possible outcomes you could have seen, and what that means to kind of the bigger picture?
That's a great question, caller.
This is what Ivy League universities you can get in.
It was an okay course, and it wasn't great. It was an okay course to the collar. It wasn't great. Stop the cap, Kwesi. Stop doing the most, bro. It was a regular question. It wasn't nothing serious. Wasn't nothing disrespectful. Wasn't nothing real. It was a good question, and he went around some things. Let's stop the cap, Kwesi. You hear me? It wasn't a great question, big dog. It was a good question. Let's say good question out there. Swear, bro.
With a 3.6 GPA.
90%.
Going into the season, I thought we would be a really competitive, playoff team. I did.
Thank you.
I can't say that I sat here and said we were going to win 4.
Thank you. I'm glad he at least said that. Same thing I said. They were a playoff team. They are a playoff team, especially after I saw the preseason. They are a playoff team, homie. Heavy, you hear me? Heavy, dog. I said they at least got to make the playoffs. At least got to make the playoffs. Check the track record. I said if O'Connell don't make the playoffs, they don't make the playoffs, he should be fired, period. He's in the hot seat right now, dog. But I said, bro, they must make the playoffs. And he just said it right there. To all you fans who, they should have never made the playoffs. The Vikings didn't even think they would compete and play and make the playoffs. Your GM just said it, motherfucker. Nut riding fans. The Vikings GM just said it. You hear me? Oh, I believe we would compete and make the playoffs. What else he got to say? How long have I been saying that, bro? How long? How fucking long, bro? Period. Especially after the acquisitions of Blake Cashman, Van Ginkel, you hear me? Grenard. Come on, bruh. Heavy, no cap. The GM just said it. So do you believe it now? You hear me? Do y'all get it now? You hear me? Or do y'all not? Y'all still asleep? Y'all don't get it. Your GM just said, nigga, I expected us to compete in the playoffs and be a playoff team, dog. Period. Heavy. He's about to say, I didn't expect 14 wins. No one really did, right, dog? But he's about to say, I didn't expect 14 wins, but I expected us to be a playoff team. And I said that all off season, bro. You hear me? Hands down, man down, no cap, bro. Period, homie.
14 games. I'm not going to lie to anybody and say that. But we liked the players we brought in. We thought we had a good chance with our quarterback room to get really good play out of that. However, that shook out. We knew we had a connected group. We had players already here who were shown to be resilient and win one-score games, all those different things that we've established over the first 2 years. So I wasn't surprised that we were a playoff team. But sometimes when you're on the journey, your expectations sort of shift, and that can happen. You almost reset expectations based on how it's going. But I'm going to try, and I'm not there yet, but I will try to step back and just reflect on it in its totality, and make sure that I appreciate it for what it is. Did we outperform, underperform, expectations? And you have to do that by looking at a player level, what performances you got, different things like that, and looking at the metrics we do, and just collaborate with our great group and figure that out. But it's hard to answer that right now just because you're still just so stung by not being in the tournament and playing football with a great group that you think deserve more.
Does your success in free agency this year, building this year's team, does that influence how you approach free agency?
I think I always talk about it in terms of acquisition channels, and there's so many ways to do it, whether you approach it in free agency, poach, trade.
Of course he should. Of course it should influence him. One thing we can say about Kwesi, did a great job the offseason. Kwesi, we give you that. Your free agent acquisitions were great. Nobody can say that. Nobody can deny that. If they deny that, they are capping for that, dog. They are delusional. Now your fucking draft picks, your drafts, your second one was okay, was good, bro. You got a UDFA Ivan Pace in there, dog. Got some other players, etc. But it seems like you know what to do in free agency. Even no-name guys say Tillery. I would like to see Jerry Tillery back. Heavy. I would like to see Jerry Tillery before I see that bum Bullard. Heavy, dog. You hear me? No cap. Jerry Tillery, big body. You understood who was your defensive coordinator, right? You understood who Brian Flores, how great Brian Flores is as a defensive coordinator when he's on point, and to maximizing players' potential and getting them to play at their highest level. So you get that. You dig that, dog. That's your specialty right there. Focus in on it, hone in on it, while at the same time, right, dog, get better at having a draft, picking the drafts, get better at your draft selections. Understand that, study that, understand personnel coming out of college, because it's clear to see, what to look for in personnel, veterans in the NFL, players who have already been there, dog. You've seen them play, put work and tape on the field. You have a better eye for great football players who are veterans in the NFL rather than you do college. And that's cool. College players, that's cool. Fine and dandy. Get out of your ego as well and hire a team around you to help you with that. Hey, Call me up, bro. Hit me up. You hear me? Your biggest fan. Hit me up. I'll get you the best roster ever fucking in the history, dog. No cap. Hands down, man down. You hear me? Period, dog. For real. I will give you your drafts. I will give you your best draft in the history of a Vikings draft, homie. Believe that. You hear me? Believe that, dog. Oh yeah, period. Give me a call, Kwesi. Give me a call and a job there.